Hey, Nick, out of the new starters, which one would you fuck?
Oh, that's how you're starting this.
Yeah,
Oh
you
boy. Well,
know
I
it.
know which one the internet would want to.
Which one? Oh, boy. Pick one, Nick. You have to make a choice. Do it.
Well, I'm not into doing that to any of the Pokemon.
What if there were hot girls, though, Nick? Think
How
about
about
it.
no? Can I
How
just do
about
one of the humans instead?
Oh, boy. Yeah. Fuck. Uh, maybe you could talk about like the female trainer, which for some reason everybody is like making her this Jack in the Box wacky Scottish girl for whatever reason. I was like, bro, why are you guys like people project the fuck onto like characters? It was really bizarre seeing that on Twitter. Like it's not that I don't find it like interesting, it's just kind of weird because there's nothing in the trailer that says she's like this highfalutin crazy Scottish girl.
No, I think it's mainly based off of the fact that the region is going to be in the New England sort of area. It kind of has that feeling to it.
It's got the
Yep.
British she thing to it. Yes, indeedy. It's got the British. Fuck. Yeah. But yeah. Welcome, one and all. It's time for Pokemon bullshit with Jade and my lovely assistant slash sidekick, Nick. Say hi, Nick.
Hello.
Yeah, let's get this shit started. Woo! All
All
right.
right, we're gonna be talking about some good old new Pokemon news that came out earlier this week. Yes, it came out Wednesday.
Yeah, to my shock and surprise, I was like,
Well,
bro,
Wednesday of when we're recording, but the 27th of Febby.
yeah, like shit came out of fucking nowhere. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, well,
Yo,
I just remember people on Twitter the night before were like hyped up about like news and stuff about Pokemon, and some people were saying like, "Oh, like new generation." I'm like, man, I could see it because because they usually make a new Pokemon related sort of game every year now, so I could see that it was going to be
really?
some sort of announcement, but
Every year now? Fuck. Like
just
maybe
about every year or two. Because I mean, if you think about it, like this year or last year, I don't know what you want to count it. We had Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and then before that we had Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and then before that we had Sun and Moon. So it's kind of like every year now they're sort of doing this.
bro, I get it though. Like Pokemon makes bank. You know what they should do? They should make a Pokemon pachinko machine. Cause that shit would make
Oh, Lord.
money
It probably
hand
already
over fist.
exists,
Probably does,
but they don't
man.
horror it out as much as Konami does with their stuff. So
Oh yeah, that shit's fucking hilarious, man. Like pachinko machines all across the board, but it makes sense. It makes fucking money. Like the thing that made me like consider this or made pachinko come into my mind was watching a Digibro video earlier today where he talks about like the Evangelion pachinko machines have made more money than every other Ava thing combined. And I'm like, are you fucking serious?
because gambling.
Yeah, I fucking died. But yeah, true. Pokemon Pachinko Machine when?
You probably just need to Google it, and I'm
Oh,
gonna
probably.
like
Yeah,
guess that it already exists.
probably does. Maybe not.
I'm looking
It's
it
like,
up.
nah, Nick is doing the researches, bro. I'm probably a little bit wild because I've been
Yep,
drinking a little
there's at
bit.
least some of the anime. It looks like
Oh
the
fuck.
anime art style pink pachinko.
Oh, so it's got the Ash Ketchums and
Yeah,
fuck.
he's on there.
Yeah, that fucker. Yeah,
It
fuck him.
almost looks like a kid's version, but anyway, okay.
A kid's
Enough about
version.
that.
A
Yeah,
kid's
look
pachinko
at that.
machine. It's fucking amazing. Japan is great. Hey kids, want to gamble? Okay, okay, I'm good. I'm done. Um,
All right.
yeah, yeah. Let's talk about starters. Like I said before, we're talking about fucking starters, but let's say which one would you pick instead of fucking?
Okay. Well, I think it's interesting because when I first saw the starters, I didn't hate them, but I kind of was like, I was like, okay, these are our starters. I'm like, I don't love them, but at the same time, I'm not like, ooh, these guys look great. I'm just like, okay, starters, all right.
Like honestly, they've grown on me a
Yeah,
little
me
bit
too.
already.
That's what I was gonna say. Like now that I look at them, I'm like, no, I like them more. I'm still not gonna be like, oh my god, I love these starters, but I'm like,
Yeah,
no, I accept them more.
yeah. We gotta see the evolutions and like grow attached to them through adventure and battle and shit.
Yeah, I still personally would probably say I like Gen 7's look more for the starters, but but again, we have to just wait.
Ah,
But out of the picks, I would go with Sobble, my personally,
yeah,
which is it's funny because I realized when I was looking at like the vast array of starters, and because people were kind of putting up what starters they prefer the most out of every generation, even though water type's my favorite type in the Pokemon, franchise, and I always at least think I usually pick water, I I've realized I tend to like more of the grass starters than anything. So
mm,
kind of weird how that is, but this is one of those generations in which I actually do like the water the one the most, in my opinion.
ah. Like I'm picking Grookey because the monkey and it's green and I fucking love green and I'm all about that shit. I want it to become like a Sun Wukong kung fu
Yeah,
ass kicking
that's what some people were
thing.
saying.
Yeah, I would
We've
love
already
it if
had
they
a
became
monkey
that.
starter before, but so let's hope they do go in a direction that's different. But then again, they've pretty much done like most animals at this point. So like complaining or like saying, "Oh, they've done it," it's just they've everything's pretty much done.
Well, I mean, they haven't done the capybara yet.
Yeah, they haven't gone into fucking like start going in more mythical creature stuff.
Yep. Boy.
Yeah,
Yep.
but
Yep.
of course the internet seems to like the fire starter the most because that's what they always decide to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody always loves the fire the most. Which is,
Like,
but I would say that I think the fire one looks the best in my opinion. Like I think design wise, it looks the most sound to me. Like that was the one I
mm,
accepted the first, the most. I'm sorry, Jade, but I still think Grookey's a little bit too weird out of the three.
mm, bro, I want it to be the most badass thing in the universe when it evolves and make you eat your words, Nick.
But we're also coming off of Rowlet, which I think is so much better from a starter's look for grass.
Mm,
I like the little owl.
we shall see. I am an owl boy, but like, bro, I I'm all about that gang. I want it to become fucking awesome. I'm all about the underdog starter. Like I want it to be the most awesome fuck. I want it to be another Greninja. Or remember
Oh
when it
yeah,
first like
everybody looks and they're like Froakie. Froakie looks ugly as shit, and then you get to its final evolution and freaking Greninja looks
yeah,
badass.
and everybody fucking flipped their shit like, oh my god. And I'm like, yeah, that's why fucking it's like that's why that's why you don't make fun of kids when they're in middle school. And then they show up like 10 years later, hot as fuck. That's what you don't do. That's what I want Grookey to be. I want Grookey to be badass.
What do you think is okay? Okay, so since we're on starters, do you think they're gonna have a subtype, and if so, what do you think?
Bro, like subtypes are so fucking common with starters nowadays. At least one of them is going to be a subtype when it like fully
Yeah.
evolves. I can definitely see that. It's rare nowadays. I'm surprised like when Gen 5 was a thing, like when Samawat, I'm surprised that was still a single type at its final form. I'm like,
So is
god, you guys
so is Superior.
Yeah, like superior as
It
well.
was the weirdest one was Embor, who they for some reason still wanted to keep with the firefighting phenomenon.
Like, yeah, that was just fucking like that shit's played out. Like I love Blaziken, bro, and I do like Infernape, but come on, we've it's
Three
like we,
generations of
yeah,
it.
it's like yeah, eventually you
I
get
don't think.
tired of the same
I hope
thing.
they've got the point and they won't touch another firefighting starter again. Like
Yeah, I hope they'll
ever.
stop. Yeah, I hope they'll stop. Make it like fucking would be cool if it was like a fire steel type or some shit like that. Would be dope. Or
Ooh, I'm
something
trying.
interesting.
Yeah, yeah, I honestly think it would be cool when they do the types that are a bit off. Um, yeah, but I don't honestly for me, I can't really think of what I would expect some of these types would be. I always like to think they're gonna go in the most ridiculous like direction. Like what if they make like fucking Grookey will be grass electric or some weird shit like that.
Grass electric. That would be fucking wild. Is there even a grass electric?
That's what I was like trying to think in my head. I was just like, I don't know.
Bro, I don't think there is, bro. Like anybody in the comments want to like fucking tell us if there's an actual grass electric cuz I'm at a loss. I'm like
Now I'm gonna quickly just try to check myself. But yeah, I think those kind of like directions of types would be definitely cool.
yeah, that would like really weird things that you don't see every day.
Okay, the only grass electric that kind of exists is Rotom in his like his lawnmower form.
That's the
Yeah.
only
So I mean,
the only
they could do another one that's not a legendary weird form.
yeah. Like in Rotom, who's kind of a legendary, sort of, kind of.
I kind of consider him a
Like I
legendary.
consider him, I want to consider him one, but he's just so fucking like he stopped being special like in after Gen 4 where he just kind of shows up and shit. They gave him like special forms. Like he technically is like a special Pokemon, but he doesn't feel like a legendary. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they made him into a Pokédex.
Oh yeah, they made him into a fucking Pokédex, and like now everybody has a Rotom technically.
Yeah. Remember
It,
when you had to find one in the haunted manor
yeah, the
in Gen
old
4?
chateau. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that shit. The old chateau was fucking like creepy as fuck. When I was a kid, I was like the ghost shit. Like you'll enter a fucking room and then you'll just see somebody glide across the floor and be gone. You're like, pretty freaky. The picture, the fucking picture with the glowing red eyes that follows you. Um,
Some
shit like
typical
that.
ghost stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, ghost stuff,
That's the
haunted.
thing, and they at least they team to keep consistent in all the Pokemon games is they get some spooks.
Oh yeah, there's like ghosts and shit, or ghosts are real. It's like eat your heart out, fucking fucking Scooby Doo gang. It's like there's no such things as ghosts, not in Pokemon, bitch. Okay. Yep.
All right, so from starters, which okay, so what do you think of let's just start very general. What do you think of these names for these games?
For like the games,
Yeah, like,
Sword and Shield.
Sword and Shield.
Um, I obviously they're going for like a knightish type, thing because it's like
Which
UK.
now that you say that, that definitely makes me think that this is going to be some sort of like in England sort of thing, because a lot of people think Arthurian legend and
Yeah,
knights and stuff for England. So
yeah, definitely. Like that's definitely what they're going for. You've got like the wolfish thing going on too, so maybe they'll do something with that. Um, it looks pretty. The game itself from the title I don't know what they're gonna do from like a thematic thing. I don't know if they're actually gonna try and have a story like an actual fucking story this time because I mean they did that with Black and White and you saw the results. I
yeah,
mean the
Black
story
and
was
White has
great.
such a great story, but
Yeah,
that game just didn't do very well overall,
well
which is weird
I
because
mean I mean, for a game, like it's still sold well over 1 million, but like for a Pokemon
Pokemon
game,
game.
yeah,
Yeah.
it didn't do as well as
It's
like
just
the
weird
other.
though because they have a sequel to those games.
Yeah, but
Let's remind everybody that Black and White's the only games which actually have a fucking direct sequel to that stills in the same region and connects like
story
character
wise, yeah.
story arcs. Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's really interesting they did that, and like I wish they would do it again, but I don't know if they're actually going to do it because it seems like nowadays after Black and White, they're like, oh, better not touch that again.
well. Also, after X and Y just kind of flopped with its even more grandiose kind of story with Mister, what was his what's his name?
Lysander.
Lysander and his essentially, which is funny because I don't really see that when you look at that game aesthetically and you think about how it's like in France and stuff, and it's just
Yeah, you don't really
like
feel
stuff.
the France from that game, do you?
Oh no, I would say you kind of do, but I mean,
Oh,
just
okay.
like when you look at the game aesthetically and whatnot, and you just kind of see how it's kind of like neat and nice and kind of friendly, and then you get to him and he's just like, I want to kill all the Pokemon, and it's just like, oh, all right.
Yeah, it's like yeah, that's probably the funniest thing about those games. But yeah, what the
But we
fuck was
are
I
so,
gonna say
but
about
where
X?
can you go now from freaking oh, I can't really say. I'm not going to say this part of it because it's still a bit of spoilers of Sun and Moon. But you go from because there is something else that kind of goes on in Sun and Moon with like enemy groups. But you go from hip hoppy gangster white boys. Now where do you go?
Yeah. Oh
What's going to be the
yeah, the
next group?
Team Skull. Yeah, I wonder what the fucking team is gonna be. I mean, we technically already had like knightish type things with like Team
Yeah, with
Plasma.
plasma.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, what type of team is it gonna be this time for the UK? Are we gonna have like fucking boys running around? We're gonna have like fucking fuck, I don't know.
It's gonna be people from Kalos because France. So
Oh yeah, they're gonna be French people.
just
It's
normal
just the French.
Kalos people, and they're just like those are the bad guys right there.
Yeah, those are the bad guys. Get them. It's like Frenchie, get the fuck out of my country. Jesus Christ. Oh boy. That would be fucking amazing. They show up and go, oui, bonjour. Prepare to die.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you actually heard, but the region name, they have the region name. It's Galar.
Galar, yep.
Yeah, Galar. Yep.
Galar region. Yeah, I like the steampunky aesthetic they're going for this time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like when you get to the one city, which to me kind of just streams kind of like Victorian English. So yeah, they're putting that kind of style in there.
That industrial era style. You got the steam like coming out. You get the gears and shit going. And yep.
And in the direct, because I originally when I watched the trailer, I didn't catch the direct when it went on, but I watched like the just the trailer came up on like my YouTube feed, and I watched that, and then just today, not only I went and watched the direct to see like the full video, and the guy was when he was talking about it, they were like saying that like you in the different areas you get to see how the people kind of like use the different terrain to kind of and like technology and stuff to kind of live off the land and things like that. So that's why it looks like the different areas kind of function differently.
Yeah. I get it. That's interesting. It sounds pretty freaking dope.
Also here I have a map picture because they showed this in the direct, but they didn't show it in the trailer. This is kind of like the map layout for it.
It looks like Great Britain. It's got like that
just long. It's not like kind of bent off to the left. It's just straight up.
Yeah, it just looks like a straight up version of Great Britain. Yep. They're doing the thing. They're gonna make a game in like a ton of places, maybe, kind of, based on various places, maybe.
Yeah.
like until they just decide, okay, we're just gonna
Until
start
they run
making
out of
up fucking new
places and they're
stuff.
just like, we'll just make something up new.
Like they're probably not gonna like. I mean, I doubt they're gonna run out of like places on Earth to do it. They're just gonna be like, oh, we
Yeah.
ran out of like the popular countries and places, so we're just gonna like fucking make up some shit.
What else? Am I trying to? Let's see. How about? Uh, how
Do-do-do-do-do.
about just kind of like yeah, the aesthetics of this game in general.
I fucking love it. I fucking
Yeah.
love it. It's beautiful. I'm like, yo, finally, they finally scaled it right.
they
It's
they
not.
took they took Sun and Moon's look and they pretty much in my opinion they've kind of just upgraded it to make it look
Yeah.
more console grade
Yeah, you've got
and
like you got like the Imaishi style character designs, and now they're using the Switch's like engine to its fullest, to, like make everything look fucking beautiful. I love it.
yeah, I'm glad that like when you actually look at the scaling of like when you can look off in the distance because in Sun and Moon they still had it so the camera's like angled down towards the ground.
Yeah,
So you can't like get like these huge shots. You can get good shots in the game, but it's not like big. But in this one, they have it set up so you can like see far off in the distance, or you can kind of see like when they go to the one city that looks like pretty much like Victorian London.
yeah, you can
You can see
see shit.
multi layers to it.
Yeah, that's fucking great. Because before it's like you'd go into a town in a Pokemon game and it's like, oh, you got like three fucking houses in a Pokemon Center. And it's
Yeah,
like, oh, is this like every town in the Pokemon game? It's like in the anime, like some of these places would be like legit cities and stuff. So you're like,
yeah,
oh, there's that disconnect, sort of, kind of, because Viridian City doesn't actually look like a fucking city. It just
no,
looks like a small, tiny town of a few people and that one old guy who was like blocking your fucking way for some reason. But yeah,
Mhm.
like
Oh, I'm sick. I didn't get my coffee. Yeah, that guy.
old man Nick. but yeah, but yeah, I'm glad that it fucking looks great. Looks fucking amazing. Um, what do
And
you
I
think?
hope this game has a lot of polish too, because hopefully they kind of take what they did in they do a good mix between like uh I almost said Hey You Pikachu. That's not the game I'm thinking of. Uh they do a good thing between Let's Go Pikachu Eevee and mix it with the Sun and Moon and give like that kind of good blend, but still adding more to it.
Yeah,
Like I like when you watch just the girl walk down the steps, like she's actually individually walking down them in a way, and it just kind of, to me, that screams like that. Hopefully, they start putting more polish in there.
yeah, more polish and more attention to detail would be like really fucking great.
Yeah. Also, everybody can like breathe a good sigh of relief. You're gonna catch Pokemon normally in this game. You're not doing the Pokemon Go system. If
Oh
you
yeah,
watch the trailer,
I was thinking about that too when I before I like watched the fucking thing. I was like, oh, is this gonna be like Extreme Pokemon Go like Ultimate Edition? It's like, nope.
nope. I'm glad they're actually doing the kind of split the games into two different like sort of groups.
Oh, you got the Let's Go shit, and then you got like the main
Yep.
games. I
Like
yeah,
I
that's
think
good.
they should really keep with that. Just kind of
That's
do
yeah,
remakes of some of the older games in that style, and then kind of had the new games in the old style still, while still kind of
yeah.
changing it up.
That's how it's supposed to be, man. You can't cross the streams. But yeah, yep, that would be fucking. That would be freaking dandy if they did that. I
I
hope
know
they
there
do
has
that.
been. Oh, sorry. What?
I said I hope they keep it like that. Fuck, that scared the
Yeah.
shit. That fucking scared the shit out of so many people when they saw Let's Go. They're like, oh no, what are you doing, Game Freak? Please don't.
You're babyifying our games.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that would be a bad way to keep going that way. If
Yep.
they kept sticking with the kind of easier approach, and because that would just make it seem like they're trying to force that into us, which they're not. But
Yeah.
So it's good to see that this is kind of confirmation of that.
Yeah, they're not. They haven't gone fucking AWOL. They're not fucking Square Enix.
Now
Okay.
I know there has been some people that have complained about like the models that the for the Pokemon is that they're pretty much using still the kind of same models they've been using since I think it's the same models from X and Y. Like they've just been slowly tweaking them as they've gone. Like it's
Mm,
not like brand new spanking or any of that stuff. It's just kind
yeah.
of it's still the same. The only I
Yeah.
know the difference between this game and Let's Go is that they've shaded them. They've gave them that kind of like those
Yeah,
shaded
they look
outlines.
polished. Yeah.
Yep.
They've got like the freaking shading that looks great and glossy and nice. But yeah, one thing about that annoys me, like maybe this is just me and maybe I sound like maybe I don't want to sound too mean, but I fucking hate all this fucking bitching, man. Like I remember like watching the trailer and looking in the comments. There's always some smug motherfucker who's like, "Oh, look at this shit. Game Freak can't do this." And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like everybody seems to find some nonsense to fucking bitch about every time a Pokemon game comes out, and you see them fucking reach like Mr. Fantastic for shit to fucking complain about. It's like, guys, why you gotta be so fucking ungrateful? I mean, can't you look at how fucking nice it looks?
Yeah. No, well, I mean, at least they're just complain like at least that's all you can really complain about is just like, oh man, the grass doesn't look great, or oh man, like the models, like okay,
Yeah,
sure, but that's not going to be super detrimental. But
yeah.
I mean, I get like I still can get the criticism because yeah, I would much love to see the games just look really beautiful, and I still think these games look
Mm.
great, but you can definitely tell like the games. Well, but then again, this is also like an early look at the game,
Yeah,
and I'm
an
not.
early look, so you can't like it's like you're only seeing so much. There's not that much to like go off of. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
So I honestly get it, but like I can get why some people might look at some of the things and think it's cheap, especially considering how huge Pokemon is and how much money it makes. But at the same time, it's also just aesthetically different from making a realistic sort of RPG. And this game in particular, and this trailer isn't necessarily finished, so it's not like the final product yet.
mm,
So like
yeah,
I think it's honestly overall fine. It's something to really complain about that much. But I do get what like if I can like put aside the cynicism wanting to complain aspect of those arguments, like to me I can still kind of see what the kind of core like statements they're trying to say. But overall I think like from what we've seen of this so far, I think there's more good to look at this than negative.
yep. That's mainly what I was trying to like get at is that it's like there's so much positive right now, and like I sort of hate like this whole attitude, and this doesn't really just extend to like Pokemon. It's just like in everything where
Yeah.
like you just where people just can't they can't overlook even the slightest bitty itty bitty thing that happens to be like negative over like the greater good. There could be like a million things right with something, but that one thing that people don't like, they find time to like, they take time out of their day to fucking bitch about it. And I guess that just really bothers me. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. I'm also a little bit, I think I'm getting slightly buzzed in case you couldn't tell. But yeah, I'm
This is what
drinking right
Pokemon
now.
does to you. You gotta get drunk.
Yep.
Woo, Pokemon, yeah! Yeah, no, I agree. Like, yeah, it can be annoying when people have to, like, kind of pull out the negative in a positive sort of thing, but it
Mm,
happens. Um, moving along from that stuff, though, what was one of the other things? So it sounds like from what the one of the guys said is the guy mentioned gyms. So it sounds like gyms are going to be back in a way, but
yeah.
I wonder how it's done because if you look at the very end of this trailer, it's like some weird soccer thing. Like the guy's
Oh
wearing
yeah,
a jersey
yeah,
and it's
because
like
fucking
straight soccer. And I'm like, oh, yeah, more English right here.
yeah, it's the UK, right? Because like, well, technically this isn't like just a UK thing because like
Well, yeah, soccer's a European like
not
nation,
even just like
worldwide.
European. Yeah,
It's
it's like
worldwide,
worldwide. Yeah, it's like if
except
anything,
here.
America's weird. It's like America is like the one, not maybe not just America, just like fucking America, maybe Canada. I don't fucking know, but like it's like these places because when I was in like Jamaica, like when I grew up, like I knew that sport as football since that's what we call it there too.
Yep.
And like when I came here, it was like soccer. I'm like, what the fuck is soccer?
Oh, it's football, but you're
Oh, but
wait. What's football then? Oh,
yeah,
you grab the ball and you wait. Then you grab it.
yeah, it's basically rugby's fucking bastard child sort of. I mean that sounds mean, but like it basically is like just an a different form of rugby, like a Pokemon evolution version of rugby. But yeah, that's pretty interesting. The weird soccer thing they're doing there. So I know soccer slash football is big in like in the UK and in South America and
Yep,
in Asia and in Africa.
everywhere
Yeah,
except the U.S.
except the US for some reason.
Yeah, but I just find that interesting because like we don't know what that's for yet. Um, but there's always that like kind of. But maybe it also relates to whatever new mechanic they do because I'm guessing they're probably going to try to do another new mechanic, or they might try to like I don't know. They might try to improve on one of them because in X and Y we had Mega Evolutions, and then in Sun and Moon we had the Stones.
Yeah, I
So,
know I from what I remember hearing about, I don't know, don't like take my word for this, but I remember hearing something about armored evolutions. So it might be like a weird like variant evolution thing where instead of just being or it's kind of obviously going off of the whole night shit, right?
yeah,
You have like
that's what I was gonna
Pokemon.
say.
You have Pokemon with like an armored version of themselves. Very interesting.
That reminds me of in the Lucario movie. There's like the very beginning. I don't know if you've seen it, but in the very beginning of
Oh
that
yes,
like
I know what
movie,
you're
it's
talking
like a
about.
Pokemon War, and you have all the Pokemon in like this freaking like armored
Yeah, the ancient Pokemon
uniforms.
War. That's
Yeah,
those movies are like really interesting because like in my mind I'm like, bro, I wish they would expand upon this in like the games, like this whole idea of like, oh, in the past there used to be a fuck ton of like war and shit in but like and like you'd have Pokemon would partner up with like humans and stuff and like you'd have them in freaking armor. That would be like really interesting if there was something like that in like the Galar region, which is why armored evolutions is a thing.
yeah. No, yeah. And so I yeah, they might have kind of like if you like kind of how in like say what the first thing that came to my mind is like if you go to the library in the one city in Diamond Pearl, um there's like that one that has like all this like lure background like
Yeah, I
ancient
remember
history.
that.
So maybe in like one of the cities here they'll have kind of stuff that relates to the like, things like that like Pokemon in fights or whatever.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I remember one of the things in that library and in that book was about how Pokemon and humans used to fuck. Isn't
Yeah,
that
and it
right?
didn't. I think it also talked about how a human
Coming
ate a
full
Pokemon or
circle.
something like that, and actually mentioned that.
Yeah, some weird shit in there. Like, it's like, oh yeah, that this kind of stuff used to happen. And I'm like, wow, it's kind of fucking bizarre, but yeah, it's just this stuff just happens.
Hmm.
One of the things I'd love for them to expand in Pokemon, a little bit off topic, sort of kind of off topic, but not really, is the whole thing with like humans having like powers and shit. Cause you'll run into humans in like the games nonchalantly, and like some of them will just have psychic powers,
Yeah,
or
you
like
mean
some
like Sabrina, right? Like
Yeah,
how
like
she's kind of
Sabrina.
psychic. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like multiple psychics in different regions and stuff, or like humans with like aura based like martial arts e type powers and
Uh-huh.
shit. And it's like interesting to see, and I want them to kind of expand on that, like because everybody just kind of treats it like it's normal. Like you walk up to them, it's like, oh yeah, it's just a thing, and I find that really interesting. Really, my headcanon about this is that humans are related to those types, like fighting types and psychic types, because those
Yeah.
types tend to be the most humanoid in appearance, and like there are humans obviously with powers like that. So it
Hey,
would
if we're
be
related, that means we can fuck Pokemon.
maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but maybe we come full circle. Like, bro, like I want this podcast to fucking blow up. Well, not I don't know if this is a fucking podcast, it's just a talk or whatever. But I want this video to
Our
fucking blow
discussion
up.
on
Yeah,
the
yeah. I want this to
Gen 8
blow up
reveal.
so fucking much. And then I want my name to be known as Jade the Pokemon fucker. Maybe, maybe not. I don't. Maybe I'll regret that when it does happen. But like, bro, what else?
Okay.
Yeah.
I know one thing I was thinking about that would be interesting to discuss is like what things now like we can say in general like this could be mechanical or kind of anything related to being a game or just the Pokemon stuff itself. But what are things that you would love? Like maybe you even if it might not happen in this game, but things that you'd be interested to kind of see
Mm,
in games in the future. Or it can just be something simple like what would you kind of want to see in this game that's like yeah, just something you want to see in this game.
in this game,
I know for me, like I don't think this game's gonna do this at all. But I would love if a Pokemon game, because this is I got this thought when you think of the spin-off games or when you think of like
mm,
in Sun and Moon how they got rid of the gym system and they replaced it with the trials. I think it would be interesting to actually make Pokemon games that really do kind of diverge off from just simply collecting shit and then fighting the big champion or whatever, and then make Pokemon games where there's multiple different kind of job like sort of like job ideas that you can like venture into, like breeding or like
hmm,
traveling for this way, or how they have the ranger games, so you have those
yeah,
kind of games. um but yeah, like kind of just sort of to venture that out. And
yeah,
when you
that would
think
be
about
interesting. Like if they
yeah.
did something like that, because the whole idea of like Pokemon Rangers was like the whole idea you're basically like a Pokemon cop in a sense. So like having one thing I guess I would love to see them do would be stuff like side quests in a weird way, like little side stories that let you
Oh
go
yeah,
off the
yeah.
beaten path. Kind of like, let's say, like, speaking of like Pokemon Ranger stuff, you could have like a side quest thing where a Pokemon Ranger shows up and you're like helping them bust a bunch of like these weird crooks, and it's like a quest line that happens throughout the game. That would be interesting to like see, like these little like little sub adventures.
Yeah. Funny enough, I can remember X and Y did have something kind of like that. And in Sun and Moon's end game, there was also other little stuff. So they kind of
Yeah,
have, but there's only like one. It's not like they do like a lot. It's not like a normal
yeah.
RPG where there's
I
like
want it to
many.
be like a lot of is what I want. I don't know if that's feasible or whatever, but it should be because you can have like DLC stuff and shit too on top of that. Like you can make things to happen, but like I
Yeah.
don't know if like Nintendo will do it. I'd like it to do more like RPG stuff in that sense instead, because one of the issues I've had with like Pokemon games for the long time is that once you beat the game and maybe like the one little after story thing,
Uh-huh.
there's like nothing to fucking do anymore
That was
unless
actually one of the things I was gonna also that definitely the newer games have really been slacking on, and that's end game stuff. After
Yeah.
no, I would even say Gen 5 had a good amount, but Gen 4 had a shitload, especially if you played Platinum.
Oh
Like
yeah,
there's a
Gen
lot of end
4,
game stuff.
bro. Battle Frontier. That's two words right there. We need the fucking Battle Frontier because that shit that gave you so much fucking shit just to do. Just that one thing gives you so much shit to do.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, can we actually like have end game things for once? Like Game Freak, please stop slacking in that
And
department.
I would say more than just kind of that. I definitely agree with people that there should be a system like that back again. But I also like it when they have like other little events that go on. Like you can
Yeah,
catch a couple different legendaries now, or
yeah.
maybe what they would do in this game is they have like you'll find a couple of the people you fought before, like may they be gym leaders or someone you met in the town.
Oh
You
yeah,
can find them out.
rematches. Fuck
Yeah,
that.
you'll either get
Rematches are awesome.
rematches or you'll kind of find them and then you kind of do a little side story with them.
Yeah, that would
Stuff
be
like that, I
freaking
think would be cool.
awesome. Yeah, man, that would be freaking so fucking great if they did that. Like the rematches, I fucking love the rematches. I remember they were in Gen 5 and also in Gen 4 a bit. And it's just the idea of being able to go back and like fight somebody who's like tougher than before with their like full team. Because the whole idea of like gym leaders is that like technically all of these people, and you find this out in Black and White too, for those of you who played that game, all of them are trainers who have the ability to like challenge the Elite Four. So like if they were using their actual team, they could fucking
Hmm.
like crush you early on with no issue. Like, but they're basically based on like your skill level and stuff, and like how many gym badges you have and whatever. They'll select a much weaker, or they'll select not their party, and it has to be like of their favorite type. So whatever their favorite type is, they use
Yeah.
that. So it's like they're actually fighting with a handicap on. So I
Did you see
love
the
the idea.
Pokemon Origins anime by any chance?
Not no, not really, which is weird for me. Like that I didn't actually go out and see that, even though I heard like tons of people talking about it.
Yeah, it
Um,
is cool, but no, I think from what I can remember is they actually kind of do in the fact that when Red, the main character, gets there, when he gets to Brock, like when he meets him, he decides the Pokemon he uses based off of his experience. So instead of using like fuckload of powerful stuff, he just picks the Onyx and a Geodude. He has like a line of Pokemon balls, and then he just picks those two to use to fight. So it's kind of like that idea. Like they have a
yeah,
bunch to use, but they only use a couples depending on the
yeah.
person's skill level.
Yeah, so literally, yeah, it's like that idea to me is fucking off. That you
Yeah.
haven't actually faced them at their most powerful. That they're literally like fighting you with one hand behind their back. So it's freaking awesome to me. And I'd like rematches where it's like, oh, I'm fighting you with my actual fucking team, like at full power. That to me would be freaking awesome.
Just came to my mind, and this would be nuts, but this would be an interesting, like, even spin off game they do. But what if you could have a game where you get to be your own gym leader and you get to kind of just dictate what kind of stuff you'll use or like
Yeah, that would be
the
freaking
layout?
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be awesome if they did that for like a post game thing. Like you choose to be like a gym leader, and it's
that goes
like
back to the whole job system that I think would be
yeah,
cool in a Pokemon game.
yeah, that would be freaking awesome. You choose your favorite type, and then you construct like a little team based on that, and then you get to Pokemon Mystery Dungeon style create like your customize and create your gym, and then have like a sub adventure where you're kind of like where you kind of get to hang out with other leaders. That would be interesting.
Yeah. Um, what's something else that I can think of? Oh, I know one of the things that I kind of well, I always love when in the new generations when they definitely put a lot of priority into the new Pokemon because I think it's fun to kind of just see the new ones and experiment around. And
Mm.
this is something that I've definitely liked more since kind of the failed attempt with mixing in X and Y, where they put way too much of
Oh
old
yeah,
stuff in there.
way too fucking much, man. You go into one area, and my natural instinct as a Pokemon master, swag master Jade, is to go and try and catch everything. And I'm like running around trying to catch them. I'm like, holy shit! There's like a lot of fucking Pokemon in this one area. It's like 40 fucking Pokemon, and
I
you're
can
like
remember
in
there's
one
like one
area.
area in X and Y where you can catch like a Heracross, a Tauros, and a Miltank, like in the same area. And I'm just like, man, they just like put these like really fairly good guys in like this close area
Yeah,
for
they
this.
put a bunch of
And
really
they're
good
all old
Pokemon.
stuff. It's none of it's new.
Yeah, like a ton. Like there weren't that many new Pokemon in like Gen 6.
Which
Like
is what led me also to say, like, I from the trailer they've showed they're gonna have old Pokemon in there, which is cool. I still think
yeah, that's
having them
fine.
in there is fine. I don't think they're gonna really do something like Black and White again, where they just have the new stuff, which is unfortunate.
Yeah,
But
yeah, because I mean that takes a lot of fucking work. And you
yeah,
know what happened when they did that for fucking white? They're
it
not
didn't pay
making the
off.
green. They're not making the so it's like, bro, let's just do what works. The Pokemon they do have seem to be more recent. For example, like in the female trainer, like throwing out the one fucking
I can't remember
Shabebe
its name.
thing.
It's like Minnow or
Yeah, it's
yeah,
that cute
I can't
little
remember its name, but yeah, it's from Gen 5.
white thing. Yeah, it's a Gen 5 thing. So I'd like to see like Gen 5 stuff and even some like Gen 6 and 7
That's what
stuff
I
in
want.
there.
I want, like, to me, the thing that sucks is, and this just relates to my kind of like uninterested feelings towards X and Y these days, and not wanting to go back to that game. Is there's a lot of Pokemon in that game that isn't in Sun and Moon or any of the others, like new spin-off stuff that, or like what I mean, like
Yeah.
Omega Ruby and those games, that you can only get in that game. And I'd love it if they actually put a lot more of Gen 6 stuff in this new one, just so that you could
Yeah, and
actually
it
have
would
a way to
make
use them.
sense. It would make sense because like fucking obviously Britain and France in real life are like right next to each other. Well, not
Yeah.
right next to each other, but you get what I'm saying, right? It would make
Mhm.
sense for like to have some Frenchy Pokemons in there.
Yeah, I
You'd be
agree.
great.
And I think that's also a good way to, give more reason for why I think Gen 6 stuff should be in this one.
Yeah, like stop with all the fucking Kento fagging, like Game Freak. I don't hate Kanto, but like fuck, man. Like, can we not have so many freaking Kanto Pokemon like all the fucking time? Like
Mhm.
like Kanto Pokemon are at their coolest. Like in my opinion, they were at their coolest in freaking Gen 4 where they had like evolutions for them. For like where you'll have like Rhyhorn, you have like Rhyhorn which can like evolve in that game with like
To
extra shit. Yeah,
Rhyperior,
right,
yeah.
pure. Yeah, right, Purier. Like some really interesting shit like that where it's like the old Pokemon can evolve into like new stuff in this region because of like the because of weird stuff that is in that region. I really liked, but like in like X and Y, they just had them in there because
For just
yeah,
But I can understand why they did it in X and
yeah,
Y,
yeah,
because they wanted to show the 3D models, but
yeah,
it it's one of those cases where, at the time it makes sense, and when you play the game originally, you don't think twice, but now when you go back and you compare it to everything else, it's very dated and it very shows
yeah. You
kind
feel
of
like
like what that to me X and Y is like the biggest, like, this is a test trial generation.
test. This is a test. It's like, do not be alarmed. This is only a test. It's
Which
only a
also
test
brings me
game.
back to the fact that this is technically the first main series console game we've had in the Pokemon franchise.
Yes, it is. Isn't it glorious?
Uh huh.
Yeah, it's the first one technically. No more of these Pokemon Stadium shit. of these games that are sort of 3D but don't really capitalize on like
They're made there to show off your teams in 3D, but that's
yeah,
about it. It's just for
basically.
battling. It doesn't have any of the other
Yeah, it doesn't
stuff
have
that
any of the bells
Pokemon
and
puts on.
whistles.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. Like, which is a fucking shame, honestly. But like now we finally get our wish after it's like 10,000 years of waiting for this shit to happen. Like people have been like wanting this forever, and it's only now that Game Freak just decided, yo, mainline Pokemon game. There's a part of me that feels like they were actually scared to do it. Like there's some they did
I
like
think
the
they
stadium and
probably
stuff.
just thought it would translate properly. That's my
Yeah,
guess.
but like in my mind, I'm like, bro, it's fucking crazy. Just make Pokemon, but fucking 3D. That's all you have to.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. And now we see that they're finally doing it. They're finally fucking doing it. Finally. Okay.
So that's definitely something to look forward to. Well, to be excited about is that that's the fact of the newest generation now. So it'll be interesting, like post Switch, whatever Nintendo decides to do with it. If it's still,
Yeah.
but that gets in the whole whatever they do.
Yep.
What else is something that's interesting to note us like that? Well, how about just? I mean, granted, we haven't seen much of like character designs for this game, but like, how about what we've seen?
Yeah, you think the female trader is cute, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean that's
Well,
what
okay.
everybody's
I think
saying.
honestly, like freaking the Pokemon universe, like in all of the games, have had like the most consistently well and just solid art, like always for all of the human characters, in my opinion. So,
Mm. I see what you're saying. Like I definitely
especially
like
the
it.
female characters, female.
Honestly, okay, yeah. Like honestly, what I wanted to say was like I sort of calmed down a bit about this, but like recently I feel like they put like way less effort into like guy shit than like with characters as far as like character design stuff,
Oh,
where it's
okay.
like
Yeah.
then like the girls look fucking great, but I want them to do shit like what they did like with some of the freaking like cool ass character designs in like some of the older games for like the guys too. So
Yeah, now that and in this game too, I think the guy just kind of looks plain so far. I
like
think he
he
looks
looks
fine,
plain.
but
I like his trunk, and I like the beanie, the stoner beanie, I think. But like yeah, like I think he's cool. That's my head canon for him now. He's a stoner. And
oh god.
in his trunk is just weed, and he's like traveling
No, he's
around
gonna
the
have
region.
cigars because you know.
He's traveling around the region selling That's a sorry, but
Pokemon, let's get high.
basically. Oh
um,
man.
yeah, but definitely, when you mentioned the whole female thing, I also just remembered how in they did definitely start to fix this in Sun and Moon, thank God. But in X and Y in particular, um, the the customization for the characters was so one sided towards the female
Oh
characters.
yeah,
You could barely do
definitely.
shit with the dudes, and then when it like. I remember when I played through Y, I made my guy look fine and I liked him and I thought he looked good. And then I played a little bit of X because I always kind of like to play the other version just to like see what it's like or whatever again. But I don't usually play through it all the way. But anyway, I played through as a female and I got to the part where you could customize and I'm just like, there's so much more you
Yeah,
could
I've
do.
heard Dan said the same shit to me. It's like, yeah, like with girls, you could just do so much crap. That's what I was talking about, where they put so much more effort into like the aesthetic aspect for like the girls, and I think it's because they're like, oh, guys don't give a shit about this, and I'm like, bro, I want to look fly as fuck. I don't know what
Yeah.
you're smoking, Game Freak, but like I want to look fly. Bro.
So I just honestly hope they kind of keep that up and make it more balanced so the guys have a lot
Yeah.
of options like just right up there with the
Yeah.
girls.
But I do like the character designs for the girls. Like the main the player character girl looks really cute. And the girl she was like battling the fucking preppy
Yeah,
girl with the tie.
like
Yeah, she also looks cute. So they're
there
doing
was
the
the only other one is I could see there was one other guy and it was just like this like I couldn't even like describe him very well. He just kind of looked like a short little dude. And you
uh
see him as one of the trainers, like very briefly.
oh yeah, in like the battle, like he's a short little brown dude.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like, yeah,
That's
they're
about it.
brown
Like,
people. Remember when those didn't exist in Pokemon?
yeah, I know that's one of the great things that X and Y did is they finally
Oh,
allowed you to pick your color.
oh yeah, that's yeah, definitely. I was like, it's like 10,000 years, and I can like be brown in a game
And
because
then you
yeah,
play out Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby, and nope.
nope,
But
you're
they're
going.
like they're already like tan, so you know it's on that verge.
It's because you're in like a southern place, so
Yeah.
everybody's getting the tans.
And one thing when I was thinking about characters is so far in this trailer, we haven't seen anybody around, but I really hope that in this game they make a lot more characters. And I honestly think it would be fun, even if they did something like a Persona 5 where there's a lot of characters, but you can't interact with them. There's only some you can, but they at least put a lot of like people walking around just to make the cities and towns more
Oh
lively.
yeah, definitely. Like Persona 5 that shit where to make it look because there's only like you'll go into a fucking town, it goes back to what I was saying before where it's like you'll go into these places with city at the end of their names and it's like the population of 7. It's like
Yeah.
7 fucking people there in the entire fucking town. And it's like, "Oh, this is a fucking city?" Nah, bro. Yeah,
I
they
mean,
need to
even
Persona
Black and
5 that
White
shit.
was doing that. Black and White had that with the when you went to the one city, I can't remember its name, but the one that's pretty much New York, and you have the people
Yeah.
walking down the streets, and there's they, and even if they just spew random lines, they're not actually important.
I remember that place.
But
That
I
was
hope they
actually
do something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, that was actually a technological marvel because that shit was on the DS, and
yeah,
they had like as you're walking through it, it's like the best way I could describe it for those of you who somehow have not played Black and White is like it's like those pop up storybook things where you'll open the book and it's like the cardboard cutout will like pop out of the page, like it'll like pop out, and it's like this 3D model thing, like it's like that if I'm explaining it right.
no,
And
that thing is a good way to describe it.
yeah, and you're like walking through it and the camera is like turning as you're walking around like the city. It's like following you and it's like rotating like a disc. And it just looks great. It was the best way to like present a city I've seen in like Pokemon in a while. Like
Yeah,
pre 3DS. Like it was the best way they presented a city.
yeah. Diamond and Pearl started to show it, but they still kind of kept a little too close to the old style, so they wasn't
Yeah.
really able to like do that properly. But in
Yeah.
Black and White, they started to go more cinematic with kind of how they were showing angles, which I'm glad this game kind of seems like it's going to do that too.
Yeah.
Um, it's going to kind of improve on what Sun and Moon was starting, and then kind of make this one look even better and grandiose.
Yeah, it's gonna be freaking dope. Okay. What else? What else
I
can we
would
talk
say
about?
Pokemon stuff, like oh, what Pokemon you want to see? But then I'm like, I'm always shitty at like saying like, oh, I want to see this. All I know, I used to be like, I really wanted to see a water fire type, and then there was the legendary that was that, and I was like, thank God. But I would still be on board with seeing another water fire type because I think that would be such a cool type to
Yeah,
get.
water fire type seems like it would be like an obvious thing with like steam and whatnot. Like there's a lot of dual type experimentation that just has not happened. Like for example, imagine grass steel. I don't know why I keep coming back to steel
There
types,
is a
but
grass
you
steel, I
don't say.
think.
Is there? Oh wait,
Yeah,
might be fucking
I think it was
no.
Gen, or maybe was it Gen 5 or 6? I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure there has been a grass steel.
Mm, well, if there is, I don't fucking remember it. So thank
But
you,
it was like
Nick,
a
for
very
like
tanky, if I
ah,
remember correctly. It looked like the first form kind of looked like a like a metal sort of like nut coconut thing, and then when it evolved, it became like this really big thing with like these tentacle spike arms. I'm gonna look it up quickly, but
It's
yeah.
a tentacle monster.
Well, I mean, it doesn't look like it's not like those kind of tentacles. I'm talking
Maybe
about like vines. That's what I meant to say.
Dojin artists be like.
All
Oh,
all
yo,
Dojin artists have to use is tentacles.
speaking of Dojins, like, bro, can you imagine how fucking fast they're gonna be Dojins of this shit?
Dude, there's already if you've gone on certain sites, there people are already making like 18 plus artwork of the two girls so far.
It's beautiful. Like there's a hilarious amount of Pokemon like hentai out there, Pokemon porn stuff. It's
This
fucking
is what I'm talking about.
hilarious.
Furrowthorn, that's his name. He's
Or
grass
oh
steel.
yeah, now I remember this thing.
Yep.
First I was like, what are you talking about? Now I remember. It's from fucking Gen 5, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's like very tanky.
Yeah.
Which isn't very good though, because he has 4 times weakness to fire, so
Whoops. Yeah, like the whole thing, probably one of the best dual type combinations is like groundwater because
oh
like
yeah.
it
That's one of my favorites.
neutralizes one weakness and you can take advantage of like those strengths of like ground along with like the water type stuff. Like Quagsire is fucking strong as fuck because of that. Like the only thing you have to watch out for is like brass stuff, but I mean, there are ways to get around that.
But it's only one weakness as opposed to multiple.
Yeah, it's only one really strong weakness as opposed to like having a ton of fucking weaknesses. So yeah, yip.
Now I'm just trying to scan through the trailer to see if there's anything else that's interest of talking about. Oh, and this shot of the trailer, like one of the earlier ones, the gym's like this massive building.
Oh
and
yeah,
it looks like it's I can't tell if that's supposed to be a leaf or like a wing. Can't tell, but yeah, when you look at these like backgrounds, they look very expansive, which I really like. I wonder. I'd also appreciate it too if like the game was like it didn't have the sun and moon or like past Pokemon games where you'll reach a point, then it'll cut off, and then it'll go to the next area. Like it'd be awesome if it was just one continuous like system.
Yeah, I would love it if they did that. But one thing I'm looking through like pictures, and one thing I caught that was really fucking cool and interesting. It's just a small detail. Well, I'm looking through a picture. It's the picture of obviously of like the trainer character like crossing a bridge in the industrial town, and there's like this poster with an ad for some food on it.
Yeah, it looks like a Pokemart food.
Yeah, and looking at like the writing on the package, and I'm like, yo, they actually put effort into having like, oh, in the Pokemon worlds, they write different and stuff.
Yeah, different language.
Yeah, that weird writing style. I like that. I'm like, that's good world building. It would make no fucking like, why the fuck would they like be writing it? Never mind. Like, I mean, it's just good shit. It's just good shit.
Yep.
Ooh, yeah. I might have to fucking edit the picture into the fucking video so people know what we're talking about when we start like we start referencing stuff, even though it's gonna be like a pain in the fucking ass.
Yeah.
Maybe the sweet views will make it worth it.
Now, this game says it's going to come out in late 2019.
Maybe.
I wonder if they're going to stick with the usual like November release. That's when the Pokemon games usually come out. Oh wow, I just realized this one area is like there's like this one shot where they show this really foggy forest and it looks like very different than what most Pokemon games show off.
Mm.
So I hope they really go a lot more fun into like environmental.
Oh yeah, having interesting environments and stuff would be great. Like,
Oh yeah,
you
and the
know,
cave with all the like the minerals and stuff
yeah,
everywhere.
the mine, yeah, straight up mine right there.
Yep.
I want the music to be fucking dope too.
Yeah, I know one thing I heard some people talk about when it came to the older Pokemon soundtracks, especially when they were talking about Sun and Moon, is that they pointed out how that game was still using like synthetic instruments and stuff. It wasn't like real.
Ah,
And I'm still gonna defend Sun and Moon and say its soundtrack is like fucking great. But one of the things that the Let's Go games did was they actually did put orchestral songs in there.
yeah, that's
So
why they sounded so fucking great. I remember the remix of the Kanto Champion um like theme was really fucking good. Like one of the best remixes of that. And also just some of like the some of the stuff, some of the instrumentals in general, which is like really clean and pristine. I liked it. Yeah,
yeah, and I think the new song for this game sounds really cool, but it doesn't. It's not very. It definitely sounds more synthetic so far, but
yeah. It's basically just a remix of a different song, like of one of the older Pokemon like themes.
yeah,
Um, So like so it might just be like, oh look, it's a new Pokemon game. Aren't you guys excited? It might just be another one of those things, and then like the actual like legit soundtrack, we have yet to like hear like all the stuff.
yeah. But again, it's all just kind of speculation at this point.
Yep. 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 Yep.
I can't think of really much else to say. Is there anything else you want to
Yeah.
mention in terms
Um.
of things to
I
look
think.
forward to? You like?
Mm, uh. Things I like. Well, I'm looking forward to the hentai. Yeah.
Just look it up now. You can find.
Yeah, like I mean, like I want like more shit to come out on top of that, like definitely. But yeah, I don't really have that much left to say because there really isn't that much to talk about. We've probably gone on for like quite a while just talking about what we have here. So I'm just like I'm surprised we got this much out of it to begin with. Um,
Ooh, wow! This one shot of the city at night. Ooh, I wonder if they'll bring back day and night systems.
it looks
Well,
like
I
it.
mean, the past games have been doing that, but Sun and Moon definitely made it so you were stuck depending on what game you picked. It'd be more daylight or nighttime. Um, so hopefully they'll just
Yeah,
kind of keep with the whole transitioning time.
yeah, it's part of the theme with Sun and Moon because like yeah, uh, but. Mm, yeah, I've basically said what I've had to say. I'm pretty straight if you know what I'm saying. So I think we'll like sign it. We'll be signing off now. Like any last words, Nick?
This is the 8th generation. I can't believe we're.
Like you cut out for a second,
I said
maybe.
this is the 8th generation. I'm already surprised we're at 8 now.
Yeah, for some fuck like yeah, we've gone so fucking far. Like I remember when I was a wee lad, it was the third fucking gen. When which is kind of weird to think about that like Pokemon had existed before I was even like born. Fucking weird as fuck to think about, but yeah.
Yeah, it was like a couple years right before we were.
Yeah.
I can't remember when the first Pokemon game actually came out.
I think it was like
How-
1994, I believe. I
yeah,
want to say
93, 4.
93 4 somewhere around that time. Like it's like yeah, like Nick looking that shit up.
Yeah.
Like
Da, 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 da. Oh no, it was 96. So it was in
96.
Japan. In Japan, it was
Oh, in
96,
Japan.
and
Okay.
in the US, it was 98. So technically, I was born to 2 years old at that time.
Oh shit.
So
Like
it was right around my birth time.
I was not born then when the game first came out in Japan. So, yeah, like I was still a fucking fetus when that shit happened, and I was not aware that Pokemon was a thing because like I lived like even when I was like a little kid, I wasn't even aware like Pokemon was a thing for like a while until like I was like 5, and I knew it through like the anime. I didn't even realize it was like an actual game and shit. And
Yeah.
then like until I came to like the US, and then like Leaf Green and Fire Red released, and I was like, holy shit, Pokemon. Yep. And that's how it all started. But yeah.
But yeah, all I can say is I'm excited and I look forward to it. I always have that. I always look forward to that traditional time of fall when the new Pokemon games comes out and I buy it and I play it. And I always love when I'm on Thanksgiving morning and I'm just playing Pokemon as I watch the parade. That's like a tradition of mine that I do now.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yep.
Bro,
It started
I
ever since
gotta do that
Black 2
too.
and White 2.
Mm.
Yeah.
Now that you mention it, yeah, you're right. Ever since fucking ever since like those games, it's been like a November releases like all the time.
Yep.
Because it's like right before Christmas, so it's like the perfect fucking time to release it. Nintendo with that strategy and stuff. Yeah. Anyway, that's all we got to say. Um, thanks for listening, guys. Bye.
I want to
Say
be the
bye,
Pokemon
Nick.
master.
Okay.
I was just trying to think of some stupid Pokemon thing to say.
Okay. Okie doke.